Welcome to my channel. Today I want to speak about the criteria to choosing a mesothelioma cancer attorney. If you considering useful my information, please subscribe my channel and like my video. Thank you. Choosing a good mesothelioma lawyer is imperative to be sure that you will be granted the highest amount of compensation for your case. Lawyers specializing in asbestos litigation experience and knowledge about complex problems, medical considerations, and the history surrounding asbestos legislation, case law and the rules of procedure and formalities in each case they handle. If you are looking for lawyers who can help you receive compensation for your injury related to asbestos, there are several qualities that you should keep in mind. A great mesothelioma attorney is compassionate, understanding and sensitive to what you and your family go. He will take the time, especially to understand your situation, to listen to concerns going through, and to understand the problems and difficulties faced. In the case, the lawyer is not willing to give the necessary time and understand how exposure to asbestos has affected your life, then you need to find another expert willing to pay the necessary attention. Being diagnosed with mesothelioma is a stressful experience, which raises serious issues regarding healthcare, the ability to support their loved ones and ability to pay for medical care, as special treatment for mesothelioma cancer reach exorbitant sums. People suffering from mesothelioma almost always have experienced decades of exposure to asbestos, before being diagnosed. Frequently, asbestos exposure occurred at work, so it is an illness that is covered labor legislation and social protection. From my point of view, workers such as mechanics, construction workers, electricians, plumbers, sheet metal workers and boiler makers, they worked with or near asbestos-containing products. Asbestos is used in many products, because it is powerful, flexible and heat-resistant. Some asbestos products, adhesives, cement, brakes, clutches, gaskets, pipe covering, cement pipe insulation and plasterboard. Many companies that made or distributed asbestos products known lethal dangers of asbestos, but choose to hide for the sake of financial profit. It is reported that as early as 1930, asbestos manufacturers and their insurance companies knew that asbestos can lead to killing workers. Companies in the asbestos industry could prevent the development of aggressive cancers such as mesothelioma, through the briefings warning of the dangers of asbestos or providing safety equipment to prevent exposure to asbestos. Unfortunately, large companies still consider the costs too high, and ignore to give protection to their employees. Although rare, mesothelioma affects veterans from all branches of service, Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. Cancer mesothelioma, asbestos cancer, has a long latency period and can remain dormant for several decades. Veterans who served his country in 1930 to 1980, they are just now diagnosed with the disease. Navy workers who worked in shipyards and Navy, or those who served on warships and submarines from World War II until today, they were exposed to high concentrations of asbestos deadly and an increased risk of developing mesothelioma. Boiler rooms, engine rooms, sleeping quarters and other areas of the ships are the most common areas where asbestos is present. So the Navy employees are subject to a higher risk of developing mesothelioma. In the process of asbestos lawyers working on commission urgently, you'll never of settlement anything until you receive compensation, and nothing in the case where your case is not successful. So for you as a customer, risk is very small. Emergency taxes, usually based on a percentage of any compensation received. Ensure that percentage during the first meeting with a lawyer. Mesothelioma claims are different from other injuries in the workplace in several ways. They fall into a special area of the law, because the lesions that are at issue does occur, usually due to an accident or sudden event. Exposure to asbestos occurs while it is a disease developing over a period of 20 to 50 years later. This is why a qualified mesothelioma attorney makes sense for anyone considering litigation or claim of confidence. Putting together a mesothelioma lawsuit, it takes time and lots of hard work. Only the best lawyers will have adequate resources to pull together the necessary information, documentation, testimonies, affidavits, complaints and other materials needed to build a solid case for you. With the right resources, Available insurance. This case, it can manipulate all data effectively, and will help you get compensation quickly. Only experienced mesothelioma lawyers can win the biggest settlements for their clients. Are you looking for a lawyer who has the documented track record of handling asbestos-related cases, when you ask your compensation? Great mesothelioma lawyers are recognized by their peers for their excellence and national organizations, in going above and beyond, to fight for the legal rights of clients. A lawyer who is recognized by industry leaders and colleagues has great chances of winning of justice. Finding a mesothelioma lawyer who understands and compassion, and at the same time is willing to fight hard on your behalf, it is essential to ensure that you receive the highest compensation for your injury. This was my suggestion. I found a good mesothelioma cancer attorney. Thank you for watching.